but it doesn't always work. Um, but if all you're noticing is from episode to episode and not stuff that's in the same episode,
No, I
don't worry
don't
about
think
it.
so. Well, I mean, not that I'm aware of. What stuck out to me, I was like, oh shit, I really have to jack it up now.
Okay. Yeah, because nobody's really that consistent because they're not.
But
And as
what
long
if
as
people want to binge on us?
well, then they can go to the volume button and go beep 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 beep, and they're all good.
Come on, man. Let's try to aim for
Perfection.
not perfection. I'm just saying sort of like a consistent range.
Fine. I'm really sad about Kingdom ending.
I am very hopeful that there are going to be more seasons because it's such a good show. It's
I know.
really popular. It's hugely internationally popular. It's a big deal.
I had no idea. I had a roommate years ago say I should watch it, and I was like, yeah, 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 I'll get to it, and I never did. And that was a long time ago, so I haven't read anything about a season three that's recent. But that doesn't mean it's not out there.
Well, they only came out, excuse me, they only came out with Ashen of the North like a year and change ago. And I mean, who knows?
Was
It's
that the
like
movie?
that's the movie.
Okay.
Um, it's possible that like all of the main characters, like they might be in such high demand that getting them to sign on and have their schedules line up is like a thing unto itself.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, that's like often what happens with these big things. It's like that's why with Marvel movies,
Mm.
like if they cast you in a Marvel movie, you basically sign a contract that says like I will be available for like 30 movies and TV shows or something for the next
You have to drop
25
everything.
years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not surprising at all.
Yeah. All right, let's clap it in.
Oh, okay. Oh.
What's up, everybody? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We're here to talk about Man in the High Castle, Season 1, Episode 5, The New Normal. We're about to spoil it, so if you haven't seen it yet, pause, come back, you're back. Oh,
Welcome back.
welcome back, my friends. Welcome back, welcome back. Tressa, what'd you think?
I forgot. It's great. There was a whole big chunk of it where the two of them were being questioned slash interrogated, and
Yeah.
I was like, I got bored of that part because I was like, yeah, we know this part. I know this already. I know you're not going to say this. I know you're going to say this. Blah, 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 blah. Next scene, please.
That's interesting because I feel like the way they handle that, it's like at the same time we show that these characters are in similar scenarios being interrogated independently on different coasts.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, it goes a little differently for each of them.
It does. And
And
yet,
well, anyway, we'll get to it. We'll get
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we start off in the Pacific States. We're in San Francisco. We pick up where we left off, the assassination of
Chaos.
the prince. Gunshots have rung out. Frank has a gun. He
People are looking at
drops
him.
the heart necklace that he had made for Juliana that she left when she skipped town,
That's
and
gonna be
he
bad. Just
leaves
like
the
that.
scene.
Just like that drawing that looks exactly like Juliana. If anyone finds that heart necklace, they're gonna be able to trace it back immediately because I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because it's like the when you think about there's that drawing and this handmade heart necklace by him, like he designed and created that piece of jewelry for her.
Hmm.
Like these little artworks, these are tangible but ephemeral uh, tokens for real humanity. And it's just really cool to me how, like, in this world where, like, the Nazis and the Japanese Empire have won, like, humanity through art is fighting to continue to exist.
That's fair.
Um, I mean, you know, like I don't know, maybe I'm reading more into it than was intended, but it feels meaningful beyond just these things are like props.
Yeah, I can see that. However, I'm a dumb dummy, and all I see are props.
Mad props. So the chaos. So like
Uh-huh.
this assassination,
Hmm.
it's the early 60s. This is like the JFK assassination,
Mm-hmm.
but instead it's the crown prince of Japan.
Right. He's kind of the good guy, even though he's part of the bad place.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like a he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, 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 for
I
sure.
don't know. I mean, who knows? Like, much like JFK, there's so much promise, and then he gets shot down, and then, you know, people just debate for the rest of time who he was, what he actually meant, all that stuff.
Did we know that he died in this episode, or did you spoil that for me? Because pretty
Oh,
sure he was just in critical condition last time we checked on him.
I didn't mean to say that he died. I don't
Okay.
know if he dies, and I
Mm,
didn't mean to say that I just mean
mm,
that, like,
mm.
JFK definitely died.
Spoilers
Yeah.
for time travelers again. So, yeah, they take the prince away to the hospital. Mr. Green, whose name I can't remember, swallows the microfilm
Yeah,
as
the
he.
conspirator guy.
Mhm.
I don't even write down his name. I write down conspirator guy.
He's always going to be Mr. Green.
I think it's Bean or Burn or Breen. But anyway, conspirator guy. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
He swallows the microfilm during the chaos because it's like they're patting people down and checking
yeah. Hmm.
documents. You know, Tagomi
Confiscating
was like holding the
passports.
prince's chest as
Uh-huh.
like, you know, they before they put him on a gurney and take him away. Keto is in uniform. He orders the confiscation of all the cameras that are there. Like nobody can
Oof.
leave.
Yeah.
And then that conspirator guy, he's a, you know, Reich citizen
Mm-hmm.
traveling under false identity. Because he's there with a foreign visa, everyone with a foreign visa is being detained, and that includes him.
And their passports are confiscated.
And then, as all of that is happening, Tagomi spots that heart necklace on the ground and picks it up.
Oh, of all people, why him?
Something special about that guy,
I agree.
right? He's
Mm-hmm.
a good dude.
Frank,
Frank,
he's running home.
Jinx, you owe me a coat.
He hides the gun in a very smart place under some sort of step porch in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, alley. Runs home. Ed's there, and he's like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, Frank turns on the radio to listen about the shooting and is told that Juliana called and swears Ed to secrecy about the gun and everything else.
Poor Ed. That's a lot for him to keep on his shoulders.
Yeah. We see the princess
Mm-hmm.
just amid chaos in the hospital.
Her whole Jackie O thing going on. It very much is a Kennedy thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, here's the thing. It's like the time, it's an
Mm-hmm.
alternate timeline, but like aspects of major events maybe would still happen, but in a different way. And
Mm-hmm.
that, like it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. We see Juliana on the bus. She's on her way back home, and it gets stopped, and they make everybody get out and searched and whatnot.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Pacific States, you scum. That's the
Mr.
underlying
Carter.
message.
Uh huh.
Mr. Carter.
She gets
Sweat
home finally.
hogs.
What do you think the sweat hogs would be like in this alternative reality?
Okay, so the sweat hogs wouldn't come onto the scene for like another
Yeah.
15 years,
Right.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
For sure.
what would the world be like to greet them? They would be living in a New York City that was under German
Uh-huh.
rule.
Yeah.
Would they still be like sort of a hapless street gang?
Oh, yeah. I think they would just be almost the same, but, no Jews.
Oh, you're right. That means no Horshack, no
No Mr.
Epstein, no,
Carter?
no Mr. Cotter either.
Carter? Yeah, no, we're fucked. This show is over. We gotta scrap it.
Right. Well, you still got John Travolta.
Oh,
You
all
got
right, we're
Freddie
good.
Boom Boom Washington.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Shit. Who else was in it?
I don't remember.
There was Mrs. Cotter.
Mm-hmm. Who played
So
her again?
maybe she would be in it.
Was
Was
it
it?
someone?
I want to say it was Pam Dauber.
No, but I think you're in the same vein. She looked like
Okay.
Pam Dauber. She was Pam Dauber esque.
It was a Pam Dauber type.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, so okay, so the Sweat Hogs are kind of like the comedy version of a gang from the Warriors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
I wish that there was some high level Sweat Hog meets Warriors fan fiction,
I think you just found your new project.
or even low level. You're right. Like, why have I been sitting on this project? It's
Why does
been
someone else have
staring
to
me in
do
the
it
face.
all your life? Practically.
Okay, so anyway, boom, Juliana back in the Pacific States. She's back in the SF groove.
That's right. That's right, Josh. She gets home and she's like, Frank, I missed you so much. And Frank's like, fuck you, lady. Uh,
No, he's like, hey, the Kempetai came looking for you.
mm-hmm.
The prince was shot. Oh, and your mom's worried about you.
Why
No
don't you?
mention that he was held and that his sister and kids have been murdered.
I mean, I think it was
Not
obvious.
his kids, her
Right,
kids.
right, right, right. But I think it's pretty obvious they did something to him if they didn't keep him. Like, she knew something happened there because he still had cuts all over him.
Right. Well, anyway, she doesn't get the
Anyway.
info right then and there. We boom, there's a clock at the hospital. Tagomi enters and sees the princess. She's been
Mm-hmm.
chilling in the same chair overnight, just waiting for the prince.
And she's like, yo, Tagomi, your fucking Chinese oracle sucks dicks.
Right. She's not super impressed with the I Ching's abilities to
Mm.
see every eventuality.
Uh-uh. We'll
The
get the
surgeon comes in and is like, okay, we've done everything we can. You can go like sit with him. And she scurries off immediately and like goes to be by his side.
He's in critical condition. Some of it
Everyone's a
graces
critic though,
heart.
right?
I know, right? Settle down, everybody.
Juliana goes to her mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
She sits down at the table, settles in. She sees family photos and gets a little uncomfortable. And then they unknowingly because they think she already knows,
Why wouldn't
break
she?
the note, break the news to her about Frank's sister and her kids. And then also ask, has she seen Trudy?
Uh, uh, no.
She beats a hasty retreat, goes back home, has a tearful embrace with Frank, because what else is there to do?
Right. I'm so sorry I got your sister killed. I'm so, so sorry that I did that to you. Eh.
I mean, when horrible things happen, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's easy to blame the wrong people. It's easy to blame ourselves.
Yeah. But, Frank blames her.
I mean, I think
He
that he blames
does.
her on some level.
For sure. He pleaded her to not do all the shit that she did that made them question him. So, yeah, he
Right. Don't get
totally.
involved. Like things are bad, but they're not terrible.
Don't make
Or
it
you know
worse.
what? Maybe they are terrible. You just saw your sister get murdered. I don't know. Like it's
Shrug.
pretty fucking terrible any which way you slice it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So back in New York City, New York City, Joe parks his truck in an alleyway. He's still got that drawing of Juliana that Frank drew.
Mm-hmm. That looks exactly like her. He put something under the wheel well of the truck. I don't know what it was. Film? Does he still have the film? I don't even
He does not.
remember.
He passed that
Okay.
film on to
Does he
save
put
his
the
own
drawing
life.
back there? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
Possibly. Possibly.
he walks a couple steps, looks at a poster of his dad for a couple minutes,
There's like Hitler stuff.
and then he gets jumped by some Nazis, and they throw him in a car with a bag over his head.
And they take him to Obergruppenführer John Smith's office.
Yep. Uh-huh. Tagomi goes to visit Mr. Green, and Mr. Green's like, I can't leave until I finish my mission. And Tagomi's like, nah, you gotta leave or you're gonna die.
Well, also,
Uh huh.
Juliana nurses Frank's wounded arm,
Uh huh.
asks about his sister. Will she have a funeral? No, they were incinerated. There's nothing left. There's going to be some kind of ceremony, though. Why did they let him go? And then he explains that they caught some woman smuggling films and thought they were Trudy's. It's like, what do we do now? We go back to our normal lives. Like, I go to work and you go to the dojo. And then we see Ed back at work. He and Frank, I'm sorry, we see Frank back at work. He and Ed like are on the machine room floor.
Yeah, yeah. Making machine stuff.
Right. Ed seems
Right.
kind of slow because like Frank constantly has to tell him the same shit over and over again. Like
Uh,
when I said don't tell anyone, that definitely includes Juliana. And then
yeah.
he's like, oh, okay. And like his boss comes over to inspect his work and asks, like, are you still designing jewelry? It's like, no, I gave that up. Everything else okay? I guess he knows about the Kempa tie,
Oh,
and
I mean, you gotta think word gets around about that sort of thing.
it's either that
Especially
or the cover story of he's been sick.
is bullshit. I don't.
Well, no, because like remember Ed was covering for him at
Oh,
work.
so you meant he was asking because said he was sick. Got it.
Maybe.
It
And
could go
he's
either way.
and Frank's answer is everything's back to normal.
Well, no,
That's
that's not
and
true.
that's what he wishes to be true. Like because what else is there for him to do? He's lost so much.
Yeah, the new normal fucking sucks though.
Right? The new normal sucks donkey dick. And it definitely sucks donkey dick for the head of the royal guard as we see
Oh,
him
cool.
commit
Why?
seppuku.
Oh, and then immediately gets decapitated. I didn't know that was a thing that followed that.
Yeah, so the deal is
Mm-hmm.
you like okay, so when you commit seppuku,
Mm-hmm.
you like stab your gut in like a sort of uh right angle pattern. So it's like you go across and up. So you're really getting your internal organs.
Oh, damn.
But the decapitation is like a mercy.
Oh, I could see that for
Yeah.
sure.
So like you have to take the act to do this, which will definitely mean you will die
Mm-hmm.
because like you're not coming back from that.
No, no.
And it would be a horrible, long, and painful death if nobody decapitated you. So the it's a merciful act to act as a second in that way. And Keto, who's watching it with his second in command, is like, "You're gonna have to do that to me if we don't catch this guy."
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. That the stakes are high.
Yeah. What is with you people? You people being everyone that has to kill everybody. Come on. What the? Settle
Wait,
down.
who are the you people in this
Everyone
sentence?
that is a Nazi or a Japanese guy that has to kill everybody and everything. Settle down.
Yeah, World War
Settle.
II was kind of rough. I don't know if you heard.
Not familiar.
So Juliana goes to the dojo and everybody turns and is like, "Hey, did you go to the Kempotai? Because they came looking for you."
Until
And
you
she's
do
like,
that, you
"Oh."
gotta fuck off.
Yeah, they're like, as a wanted person, you cannot study here.
We
Our
don't need
dojo is
your
about
drama.
harmony.
So she frickin' turns herself in.
She reports to the police station. What else can she do? The
Not
cops are
do
looking
that.
for her. Walk in and face it or spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder.
Well, at least you have a shoulder to look over.
Yeah, they're notorious for taking your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Back in New York, Major Clem comes in to Obergruppenführer John Smith's office to interrogate Joe Blake. He
Hey
takes
Joe,
out,
have a seat. Heil Hitler.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do
he's
this.
real casual. Heil Hitler, sit down. I've got this audio recorder I've got to set up. And then this is where we have the big back and forth, the two scenes
Yeah.
of simultaneous interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
Major Clem is doing the interrogating on Joe Blake. Juliana is getting interrogated back at the Kempotai headquarters, first by one guy and then eventually by Keto as well.
Mm-hmm.
She sits down, she's answering their questions. They're like, "Where were you?" Like, she's like, "Oh, I went to Trudy's favorite places, like Twin Peaks, and then I took a bus to Yosemite." And they're like, "Oh, to a campsite? We heard." And she's like,
You
"Oh,
were
you were listening
listening?
in?"
Rude.
Yeah, totally rude.
Ugh.
Back in New York, Joe defends giving the film over to the resistance fighters because they never brought him to the man in the high castle.
Mm-hmm.
And Clem is like, "So you lost the film?" And he's like, "I wouldn't say I lost it." He's like, "So you've got it?" And he's like,
Eh.
And then Obergruppenführer John Smith enters and he's like, "Carry on." And he just sits down with some files while like the interrogation continues. Back in San Francisco,
Uh-huh.
Juliana is shown a picture of Trudy's friend, aka her boyfriend, Randall. And she's like, "I don't know who that is. I've never seen this guy before. I don't know anything about him." But that was like the guy that like
Next
came
door to
up to her
Frank.
in the bus stop
Oh.
and
Oh. Wait, was it also the guy right next door to Frank when he was getting questioned and stuff?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly right. So he was the one that like tried to get the film from her and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Fuck you, I'm taking it. I'm going to take Trudy's place."
Yeah. You don't even look like Trudy, idiot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so anyway, back in New York, Obergruppenführer John Smith asks, "Are any pages missing here? There's no mention about the girl." And he's like, "Oh, the girl.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean
here's
the
the
one that
thing.
died in the fire, the
She's
car fire?
totally
That's got to be the
dead.
only one you could possibly be talking about. I
Yeah,
didn't think she was important."
no, she was so boring. Like Snoozeville. You didn't even want to know anything about her. She is so stupid.
And then John Smith is very well informed. He's like, "Well, the marshal said that you were using her. So,
The Marshal. Ooh.
yeah, the marshal." In San Francisco, Juliana takes a slap to the face.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Keto brings up Frank's sister and her children.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Take that.
It's like
Checkmate.
sometimes like the consequences are dire. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it even seems like he's kind of trying to be on her side. Like, I don't want to fucking kill Frank's sister and her kids.
I
Like,
mean,
that sucks.
he's just playing good cop. So she'll talk.
Maybe, maybe. I mean, it just sucks, right? Like,
He's kind of a dick though. So yeah, he's just playing good cop.
yeah, he is a dick. I'm just saying, like, even dicks don't necessarily want to be monsters.
Disagree.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe like he does want to be a monster.
Oh.
Um,
Who can say? Like, all these people are monsters, regardless if they want to be or not. So, I don't know. They've rationalized all this horrible, horrible stuff that they do on a daily basis.
it's true. On the reg.
The super reg. Come on.
All right, so back in New York, Obergruppenführer back in New York, Obergruppenführer John Smith is like, "So, Joe, is that everything? Is there anything else you want to tell me?" And he was like, "That's
Mm,
everything." Back in San Francisco,
but wait, he
huh?
was like, maybe this was earlier, but he was like, well, it's fine. It's fine that I don't have the film because I got all this contact with Lemuel Washington and all these other guys. It's fine. And
Oh,
John
that's
Smith is
actually a little
like,
bit further down.
I don't think so. Go ahead.
I have a few things in the middle.
All right, I probably didn't write those things down
I
then.
don't know.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, so Obergruppenführer John Smith is like, "So, is there anything else you want to tell me, Joe? Is that it? Is that everything?" And Joe's like, uh, yeah, "Yep, that's everything." And in San
Hmm.
Francisco,
Uh-huh.
Keto is like, "All right, Juliana, you can leave," but tells her nothing will ever return to normal again.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much, buddy.
I'm gonna
She
go.
then goes and breaks into a building that we will soon learn this is where her sister Trudy and Randall had lived. She finds a picture of the two of them on the floor, and like the place has been wrecked. So
Yeah, yeah.
I guess like the Kempatai's been there.
I mean, it
Oh,
just looks like Frank's apartment, but whatever.
yeah, it's not so bad. Um,
In comparison, they all have shitty places. Anyway,
well, they're living under occupation, right?
yeah.
Times are tough. A woman enters. "Randall is dead. Did you deliver the film? Is this a trap? You'll never know until it's too late." And then they have this whole conversation. Like, she's like apparently a member of the resistance with Trudy and Randall. And so we get a little tiny blip of explanation right here. Why do the films go to the man in the high castle? We don't know exactly. We give them to him, and then he passes back info we can use against the pawns, again, that racist terminology.
All right.
So like that's it. You're not getting any more info because we don't have any more info, but that's like a little tidbit right there. So we give the man in the high castle these rare films that we get somehow, and then he like decodes meaning from them or something. And this woman who's like lost everything herself,
Uh-huh.
she just goes on in order to fight. And Juliana is like, I need more than that. I can't just do it for the fight itself.
Fair.
And then back in New York,
Uh-huh.
Joe is like, well, listen, I just like speaking from the heart,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to defend my work because my mission was not to bring down the man in the high castle. It was,
Mm-hmm. 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 What was it, Joe?
he's like, it was to gather information about the resistance. And I did that and I kept my cover intact. And those are pretty good points. And Obergruppe, those are pretty good points. And Obergruppenführer John Smith says, you failed.
Wrong. You
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because Lemuel Washington has been missing for 2 days. Him and his family gone. What happened, Joe?
Right. So there's that. But also, Joe has a fundamental misunderstanding about hierarchy and how everything is about the whole and the greater good and not just about him.
I mean, he's Hitler's son. Of course he's going to think everything's about him.
We do not know whose son he is. We just know that he wants to make his father proud and that he did not
I'm
grow
right.
up with his father anywhere nearby.
But he's very important, probably. Everyone wants to impress his dad. Whoever could that be?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, listen, anyway,
Uh huh.
Obergruppenführer John Smith says, Joe, never disobey a direct order from me ever again. And then as he's about to go, he invites him to Long Island for VA Day. They have VA Day just like we have VA Day, except it's about a very different victory.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So John Smith is like, please come to the house. You'll be a guest with my family. This is about community and family. And you haven't been around your own people for a while.
Your dad's
Your
still
own
in
people.
Germany. Your dad, Adolf Hitler's in Germany, probably. You haven't seen him ever. It's fine. Just see and hang out with my family.
Oh, you've got some theories, it seems.
We go to Frank's sister's memorial.
In a Buddhist shrine.
Yes. Yes. Frank's brother in law fucking hates Frank.
Yeah, I mean, he's angry, and it's reasonable for him to be angry. He had a wife and children and a happy life just a couple days ago.
I mean, Frank had a sister, so maybe settle down. He
Right, but
lost
for
one
some
too.
reason, they were killed because of information that they thought Frank had.
But he didn't.
Yeah, so
Probably.
anyway, that brother in law is definitely not all cool in the gang, but neither is Frank.
Yeah, they're both a little traumatized.
The There's like a speaker at the ceremony.
He did a great job.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Juliana and the woman back at Trudy and Randall's apartment are just trying to like figure out they're trying to figure out how information about the resistance got leaked. They think that there's a connection at the Nippon building, which is like that's the major government building.
Oh, I wasn't really sure. I,
And yeah, they have like a business card for a contact for someone that works there, and information that young women can apply for work there. Those are the
Uh-huh.
only applicants that they want to
Mm.
see.
Under 27, because if you're not married at 27, gross.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back to the funeral ceremony.
Uh-huh.
There's a speaker speaking, and this is like a thing that like the brother-in-law, he works for a company with honorable people and he has to keep up appearances, and it's important that they have some kind of ceremony
Sure.
because he's got to go on working there and living there, and like,
What else is
his
he
life
gonna do?
hasn't ended. Yeah, totally. What else is he going to
Unfortunately.
do?
Yeah.
So this official speaker guy, like, he doesn't even get the names correct, and Frank yells out corrections.
Yeah, after eyeballing his brother in law, like, what the fuck? You're not gonna correct him? That was your wife,
Yeah.
dickhead.
So at the end of it, he gets approached by a stranger, a guy named Mark Sampson, who,
He used to
uh,
work with his sister.
yeah, Laura, that was the sister's name.
Oh, that's the first time I
She
got
used to
it.
work in the hardware store. And he gives him his condolences and says, if you want to talk at all, I live right across the street from the hardware store. Please drop by anytime. And then he gives him a hug and he says, to life.
Okay, bro, I'll see you later. Nice talking to you.
So, what you might not know
I don't.
is that the common and popular Hebrew phrase l'chaim
Uh-huh.
means to life.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so this might be a little code speak,
A little wink,
a
a
little,
little nudge.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah, sounds like it.
could be.
Could be. You know what we didn't mention when Joe was being invited to this party is as he's doing this, as John Smith is inviting him, he's
Mhm.
getting these files
Oh,
and putting
wait,
them
do
in
you
his
mean
brief.
Obergruppenführer John
Yeah,
Smith?
I just can't say those words very fastly, very quickly, very fast. And he's putting these files in his briefcase, and there's like a big like zoom in on what was on the file, and I could not read it for the life of me. Do you know what that file said?
Fuck, no, I was taking notes. I didn't even see that shot.
Because even Joe was like, whoa, 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 what does that say? And I have no idea what it
Fuck my
said.
life.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I bet it's something important.
Yeah, and we just fucked it all over.
Oh my
Wait, what?
God.
Let's just
Uh,
scrap this episode.
we should just commit seppuku.
I'll cut off your head if you cut off mine.
Deal. All right, so back in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're still in San Francisco. We remain in San Francisco, but across town,
Mm-hmm.
Keto shows up at Tagomi's office. He was summoned there. Tagomi asks about the return of foreign documents to honorable businessmen, and they have a power struggle because
Mm.
Keto's job is to keep them and do whatever the investigation requires. And he
Mm-hmm.
just, yeah, he won't bend. He's like, sorry,
No. He'll,
no
no.
dice.
No, he will not bend it. To go, he's
Yeah.
like, come on, it's cool. We're cool, right? We're
Well,
buddies.
no. Tagomi is like, listen, I was just over with the Royals. I know how serious this is. He's like trying to show him not just that they're on the same side, but that like
He's better.
he's better and he's close with the victim.
Right. So he wouldn't double cross them. But basically, dude, just give me the fucking shit. It's fine. And
And
Keto's
Keto's like,
nah.
Sorry, thanks for trying. Bye-bye.
Me.
Back in his hotel room, we see the conspirator guy has recovered the microfilm.
How do you do that? I thought he swallowed it.
Yeah, he passed it out eventually.
Ew.
So then Tagomi, who is really good at everything, it seems,
He really is.
he's like, okay, he calls over. He's like, listen, your guards are about to switch in 8 minutes. Get out during that lapse. He meets him at the elevator. He hands him brand new travel documents. And as they're passing through the hotel lobby, they see the contact, the science minister that he's supposed to give the microfilm to. And he's talking to a Nazi who knows him, who knows the
What?
conspirator guy. So the
How are we gonna
conspirator
do
guy is
this?
like, fuck. If that guy sees me and recognizes me, I could be fucked, but this is my only chance.
I'm
So
going
he
for it.
does the old bump pass.
What?
Yeah, he shoulder checks the science minister and like secretly passes him the microfilm, and the guy doesn't even know it. Who knows?
Because
Like,
he's a pro.
I guess, but like, what if like the guy never found it?
Yeah, he just like puts his jacket in dry cleaning and never checks.
I mean, it could happen to anyone, right?
Surely.
So yeah, the Nazi guy is like, hey, excuse me, I think I know you. But then our conspirator guy plays it completely cool. He's like, I don't think so, my dude.
Not unless you do stucco like I do, very much so every day. Bye.
No, he says, unless you've been to Stockholm, unless you, what did you hear? You thought that he does stucco?
Yes. I thought it was like, oh, I'm in town for a convention of stuccoing.
Hold on a second. You think that like an extremely highly placed, like foreign person, his cover identity was like a a
He's
a day laboring contractor, a
he's a
guy that like I hang out in the Home Depot parking lot and wait for a truck to pick me up in the
okay.
morning
Now
on
you're just
good
being
days.
offensive. Okay, he was just a guy who happens to sell stucco to the greater plains area of the Pacific states. And he just happened to be in town because he was doing a sales meeting. And that's what I thought.
Okay, so I could see how, I mean, I mishear things all the time. I don't mean to make fun of you.
Oh,
What
no,
he
that's
said
fine.
was, I'm sorry, sir, we don't know each other unless you spend a lot of time in Stockholm. And then he just turns and leaves.
Okay, okay. But first off, why wouldn't he be spending a lot of time in Stockholm? Like, you don't know. And two,
Has anyone ever like mistaken you for someone that they knew and you've been like, I'm sorry, like,
not
unless,
unless you've been to Stockholm, idiot.
or whatever, like,
Yeah, that actually happened to me once. Someone was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "I don't know who you are," and apologies. And they were like, "Uh, ugh, all these fucking women look the same."
wait,
And
someone
then,
said that to you?
yeah, and
What?
yeah, and I realized that I had met him like a couple nights before, and I was really drunk and forgot.
That's amazing. Okay, so wait, now I have to tell you one.
Oh yeah.
So I was working at this office space and I'm walking down the hall and I turn and I see an old friend that I haven't seen in like 10 years. And I'm like, dude, how's it going? And he's like, hey, dude, what's going on? I was like, oh, same stuff. And then like I go in to hug him and he goes in to hug me. And as we're like an inch apart from each other's faces, I realize it's not my friend. He just looks a lot like him, but he's playing it off because he's not sure if he knows me or not. And then I just have to, like, we both just continue this pantomime where we're like, okay, man, it's great to see you. Like, keep on keeping on. And that was
Say
it.
hi to your family and friends for me that we talked about so much in the past.
He looked so much like John Hoffman, but he wasn't.
Oh God, That's great. The
Yeah.
fact that you were at a point where you could not take it back. There's no going back. You just
Yeah,
gotta hug this guy.
I was right on the cusp of embrace, which I followed through on.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I'm like usually very good at recognizing faces. Like pretty like pretty high level where I'm like, "Hey, we met like in passing once years and years ago." And they're like, "I have no memory of you." And it freaks people out sometimes.
Eh.
Anyway, now that my memory sucks, I guess that won't be an issue anymore.
Anyway,
Anyway,
stucco.
yes, Stucco in Stockholm.
We go to the Japanese authority building where
Yeah.
Juliana is like, all right, I'm going to go apply for a job.
It's hard to
And
get in. There's like armed
mhm.
guards, and she doesn't work there. So she's like, I was given this card, and they like
uh,
eye her over, and they're like, all right, come on in.
stupid white lady. Sit next to this other lady. You guys are going to try and get a job right now.
Yeah, this is where like cute girls go and look for work.
Obviously. Oh,
Yeah. She finally gets called in. It's like clear that she's been left waiting for hours. This middle-aged business guy has her stand up and take her coat off and inspects her figure. He likes what he
and
sees.
everything you assume is going to happen does.
Yeah, he's like, on top of your regular work, you will be required to do personal services.
Zip!
Yeah, he literally unzips his fly and he's like, do you want the job? And like, cut to her rushing out of that office. And,
Yeah, she's got to get some mouthwash.
or she just said, fuck this, I can't do this. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
not clear. I
probably.
guess it's
Yeah.
not clear. I guess it's not clear.
Mm.
But she runs directly
Uh-huh.
into Trade Minister Takomi.
Oh, that's
He
weird.
drops her necklace on the
What?
floor.
She probably took it back and said, hey, this is my necklace, right?
No, she bends
Oh.
down, picks it up, and hands it back to him and leaves. And that's the end of the episode.
Whew.
Yeah, man, I love the show.
It's a good show. My favorite part of this episode was learning so much about the stucco industry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a very important industry. It's like it's clear why it would be important to keep the big players in the stucco biz
Yeah.
happy when they come to visit San Francisco
Yeah.
from wherever it is they come from. It's unclear what that city might
Probably
be.
Stockholm. I don't know.
It could be anywhere though,
Yeah, I could.
because
Anywhere.
stucco is big biz.
Oh, boy. So, what can we expect from the future of this show?
Well, the future ain't what it used to be.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I hope that we get to see a glimpse of those sweat hogs that might be.
I can't wait to see what John Travolta looks like. You think he'll have like a uniform, like a Nazi uniform on?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like in the very first episode, we see that like there are aspects to normal life in America that are kind of not that different. There's like a Rock Hudson Doris Day movie.
Sure.
There's just like
Well,
stuff
well,
that was gonna happen is still gonna happen.
but what are the public schools like in this reality? Are they,
I'm sure they're very different than, I
do they
mean, I
have to
don't,
wear uniforms? Do they have to, is
yeah,
it
I
very
think so.
rigid? So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, in
they're all
the
going to have Nazi uniforms on.
it, certainly in the Reich, they have to wear those uniforms.
That's,
Oh, and interestingly, like, do girls go to school or like,
oh,
are they just like meant to be homemakers and like mothers for lots and lots of Nazis?
that's a good question.
Yeah, I bet it's the latter.
I bet. You know why? Nazis are not good people.
Nope. No, it's interesting that you picked up on that. That's
Thank you. I'm getting
yeah,
very observant.
right.
Hmm.
All right, so
And
I don't
you
know
know
what
what?
that file in Obergruppenführer John Smith's briefcase was, and I am
We got to go
really,
back and just check because it's going to
yeah,
bug me.
fuck. Oh well, it's just gonna be one of those things.
Hmm. Josh, I'm so glad we could spend this hour together of you showing everyone how fucking stupid I am.
What do you mean? You just misheard a thing. It's not that big
Yeah.
a deal. I'm just razzing on you. Like anyone could mishear a thing.
Hmm. But that's all the time we have, Josh.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode, and it's been a doozy. But
Mm.
we'll be back with more. Please stay tuned.